The great soul awakening, our shadow self. The soul, our shadow self. When we feel that there are parts of ourselves that are not acceptable, we cast them into a darkness deep in our psyches. Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychiatrist, called this the shadow self. Those parts of ourselves whose existence we try to deny. This then turns into a monster. We often display our unwanted characteristics onto another person so we don't have to acknowledge them in ourselves. In order for us to live in our soul and feel whole and complete, we must bring the shadow self into the light and confront it. People often end up in therapy to rid themselves of the unwanted characteristics. In reality, once those are exposed, you find out that those unwanted characteristics, when turned 180 degree, turn into something really pretty awesome and beautiful. And so we don't necessarily want to take all those shadow sides and get rid of them. We just want to flip them to a 180, darkness and light. We have light. How do we know we have light? Well, we have darkness. Everything is duality. Light, dark, up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west. Or as the natives would say, north, east, south, west, because everything is continuous and we are all connected, whether we want to believe it or not. Just like that English lady on that TV show, You Are the Weakest Link, or The Weakest Link, she would say, you are the weakest link, goodbye. And that felt really harsh, but it's true. We are only as strong as our weakest link. And so we need to expose those shadow sides. Is it easy? Oh, heck no. It is not easy at all. But is it necessary in order to grow to be whole and full and complete within and to feel peace within? Yes, it's very, very necessary. You need to do the work. And all these things that we thought were so important, the way we look, the way our hair looks, the way our body looks, when you're in tune with your soul, all of that stuff goes away. Trust me, all of that stuff goes away. Yes, you want to look good. You want to look good to feel good for yourself. You might want to lose some weight so you don't have so many health issues. It is what it is. Let's put it that way. It is what it is. You are where you are because of choices you've made, and now you have the right to make different choices. When we grow up, our parents have ideals and ideas for us. My parents would always say, Teresa, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And I, having neurological issues, growing up with epilepsy and seizures and all that, I didn't believe them. I'm like, yeah, nah, that doesn't work for me. Now that I'm in my 50s, it works for me. Trust me. You don't have to necessarily believe everything you hear, but your parents do have some wisdom because they are older than you. And sometimes we get more degrees than our parents had, then they need to start listening to us and they don't want to do it because we're younger. So then we push that into the psyche. We push that deep in the psyche. Oh, that's a shadow self. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the fact that my parents told me one thing and I believe something else. And sometimes our parents are right, and sometimes they need to learn from us. I remember hearing a story about a girl who was growing up and the kids were picking on her and stuff. And her mom said, well, honey, aren't you concerned about that? She goes, no. She goes, I don't believe it. And the mom is like, wow, I need that attitude because I get too concerned about what everybody thinks about me. Well, you got to quit thinking about all that. Trust me, they aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves and what everybody else thinks about them. So when you realize that nobody is thinking about you or talking about you behind your back or anything like that, you can just live in freedom because that's what life is all about. Life is about being free. And yes, our world is getting crazier by the millisecond, but we need to realize that we can live our life in freedom. This is the great soul awakening. This is time to learn how to release and get your soul awakened so that you can do what you need to do. Now, if you like these kinds of talks, like me, follow me, You can find me at healingwiththerev.com. I have courses out there that will help you become more whole and complete. So please go out there and feel free to purchase what suits your soul, because we are all about getting your soul awakened so you can do what your creator, God, subconscious spirit, whatever term you want to use, wants you to do, because we are all in this together. So thank you for listening. Have an awesome day. Have a great life. And if your soul is not whole and complete right now, please do go out to healingwiththerev.com and buy a course today.